All right, what we're working with today is writing and reading verbal expressions that deal with multiplying and dividing. So some things to remember is that whenever you see a variable like n or x, that is just a number, so you have to write that. We've done adding and subtracting words. Now what we're getting into is the multiplying and dividing words. So multiplication terms, some of the words are multiply, times. Earlier in the year we used the word of, but of only works when I find percent. So the percent of something, that tells me to multiply. Another multiplication word, and this is one of our star words, is product. And the reason it's a star word is because it uses the word and. And remember, our star words are at the beginning. Okay, so those are the four main words we have for multiply. Now, sometimes there's things when we do 2 times a number, like 2x. Words for that are twice and sometimes double. But the one you'll see the most is twice. So if you see twice, twice means 2 times something. Okay, division, there's divide. And that's the main one. And then there's our star word, which is quotient, and ratio. These both use the word and they come at the beginning. That's why it has a star. So I'm going to highlight my 3 words that are the important ones because those are the ones that usually trick people up. And those are quotient, ratio, and product. Okay? All right, so now let's use those words to try and answer some questions. So for the first couple examples, I've told you what word I want you to use. So for this one, I want you to use divided by. So I start with x, so that's a number, divided by -2. Remember, the only thing that goes backwards is less than. We didn't learn any new ones today that go backwards, so make sure you go in the order it says. All right, for number 2, this one says quotient. So quotient has a star by it right here because it says that it's at the beginning. So we're going to find the quotient of whatever comes first, a number, and, because quotient uses the word and, -2. All right, for the second one, number 2, this says 2 times x. If number's connected to a letter, you know it's a multiplication. So that's a times. So product is an and word, and it's as a star, so it goes at the beginning. So the product of 2, because 2 came first, and a number. For product, the order doesn't really matter, but it's a good habit just to go in that order if you're supposed to, so that way you don't mess up on other ones. All right, whenever I have 2 times something, I love the word twice because it makes it short. Twice a number. You could also say 2 times a number. So those are all different options. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to try number 3, and when you think you're ready, press play to check it. Okay, so you should have noticed that quotient and ratio are star words, so they use the word and right here, but they're also at the beginning. So the quotient of a number in -5 and the ratio of a number in -5. All right, now we're going to try these. What I'd like you to do is try these 4 problems and then press play when you think you have it. All right, so here twice. Twice means that I'm going to times something by 2, and that's my n. So it's going to be 2n times, there's another time, so I'm going to put this times, parentheses, -5. You also could have said 2n times negative 5. But if you notice it says to simplify, what that means I want you to do is I just want you to do 2 times negative 5. And 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. So this is negative 10n. For number 5, you should have recognized the word product. Well, that goes where the and is. So it's a number times 10. To simplify that, it's just 10n. For number 6, quotient. Quotient's an and word. It goes here. So a number and 2. So divide by 2 times 6. Well, to simplify this is a fraction. If I put a 6 over 1, n times 6 is 6n over 2 times 1 is 2. And 6 divided by 2 gives me 3n. Last one, 15 times a number divided by 3. So that's going to look like this, 15n divided by 3. Well, to simplify this, I do 15 divided by 3, which is just 5. Okay, so those are basic problems where you just have one operation and it's either multiplying and dividing. Now we're going to start getting into where we're combining all 4. Okay, this is kind of the general rule that you need to follow. So I'm going to bubble this in because this is pretty important. We need to remember this. So when working with the word sum or difference, you must write parentheses if you're going to multiply or divide. So if you see the word sum or difference associated with multiplying or dividing, you must use a parentheses. So here's an example, number 8. It says 4 times the sum. So that means I have to use parentheses. So it's 4 times the sum of a number. Sum goes where and is, a number, and 6, and so that's the answer. For this one, number 9, it says twice the difference. So it's 2 times the difference, because difference has parentheses. The minus sign goes where the and is. So again, we're doing the difference, and that's the and, so it's a number. So I'm going to say x and 2. All right, for number 10, it says 6 times a number increased by 5. So this one looks different because it doesn't have the word sum or difference, so you don't do parentheses. So it's really just 6n plus 5. For number 11, it says 12 less than. Remember what happens with less than? Less thaners are one thing that's backwards. So 12 less than, quotient, that's one of our words that has to use, not parentheses, but has the and. So the quotient of a number and 4 minus 12. All right, now let's try writing them out. When you see parentheses, you have to use sum or difference. And so this one starts with a negative 3. So negative 3. And this is being times. So times, it has parentheses and minus, so it's difference. So negative 3 times the difference of x, which is a number, and 5. For number 13, this is another one that has parentheses. So that's a times. So it's 5 times, and again, parentheses, so it has to be sum or difference. This is plus, so it's sum. So 5 times the sum of, well, I'm adding this. What's a quick way to say 2x? That's right, twice. So 5 times the sum of twice a number, and, because that's where the and goes right there, 4. Now for 14 and 16, I skipped 15, so I guess this should be 15. So 14 and 15, there's no parentheses, so you can't use the word sum or difference. You can, but it's a little trickier. It's better not to use it. So this is just 3 times a number. You can say plus 6, increased by 6, more than 6. There's a lot of different options. Here, you can do a number divided by 4, the quotient of a number in 4, the ratio of a number by 4. Let's do the ratio because we haven't done one of those. So the ratio of a number and 4 minus 5, decreased by 5. You can't say less than 5 because less than would have been backwards. What you could say is you could say 5 less than a number divided by 4. If you wanted to use less than, that's how you would do it. So when you're using these words, you just have to be careful and remember to go to your list. If you see the word product, quotient, or ratio, remember those will go at the beginning and they have the word and. When you have things that say sum and difference, you need to make sure you use parentheses.